Hey everybody, welcome to JNJtabletop. Welcome to Wednesday night. Um, we're here with the very first table talk of the new year, very first table talk of 2022. Um, and I'm very excited about the guest that we have on today. I'm glad we're able to get you on as our first for this year because we do have some fun ones planned. But table talk with Baron from Blue Dragon Guild. So everybody say hello to Baron. Baron, say hello.
What's up, everybody?
Hi, Baron. Hello, people in chat.
So yes, hello chat. Some fun faces in here. I haven't seen the mutant agenda in a while. And it's funny, I feel like I haven't seen John on like anything. And then I saw that he posted a video yesterday, which you should check out. He posted a video about a Spider-Man comic collection that was like really cool. But I haven't seen him, and then I see that he posted a video. I see he sent me something on Twitter, and then he's here in chat, and it's just like lots of John, and then I'm very happy about it.
A lot of blue dragons around. What are we supposed to do with this?
There's an abundance of blue dragons here.
I was so confused when like the notification popped up on my phone, and I was like, I didn't have a video scheduled for right now, and I was like, oh, that's not me. That's John. John's back.
John did it. He did it.
Oh man.
But yes, if you're not familiar with Baron and the Blue Dragon Guild, you guys make some content. You're a group of, I believe it's 5. Is that right? Depending on how many fingers you use to count with.
Yeah. Mackenzie and I are the main video makers, and Chris and Dave join us whenever they're available, and Tommy is just somewhere out there in the middle of nowhere.
Now your friend Tommy has probably the most unique nickname I think I've ever heard.
Yes.
Would you care to tell us that story?
Okay, so I met Tommy at my old job at a grocery store, and grocery stores often have, giant garage doors when they get shipments of stuff in, and somehow a bird had gotten into the store, and we were trying to get it out, and Tommy looks to us and says, "If you catch it, I'll lick its face." So we caught it, and he licked this bird's face. There is a video of it on YouTube. Just search Tommy Licks a Dead Bird and you'll probably find it.
And Bird Licker was
Tommy
born.
Bird Licker.
Oh my
Bird
gosh.
Oh
my
man.
goodness.
Now, does he wear the nickname like proudly, or is it like one of those things? Okay, all right.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
He earned it. He did earn that.
He did.
Especially if he follows through with something like that. That's incredible.
In his old age,
Because I would have been like, nah, I was
much.
lying.
In his old age, he doesn't do as much wildness as he used to, but back in those early 20s, we had a good time.
But I mean, if that's the kind of thing that I know back then, but if that's the kind of thing that he would do in real life, I would love to see and hear the type of things that he would do in roleplay at the D&D table or whatever game. I'm sure there's some fun stories there. I mean,
I can sum that up real easy for you, Josh. It is search, winged boots, and how much damage can I do?
okay.
Tommy is our resident barbarian fighter, and that's what he likes, so that's what he sticks to. So I can't fault him for that.
Hey, both those classes are a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I definitely tends to go more towards the martial classes, and I know Jake usually tends to like the magical classes, the casters. Where do you usually stand on that kind of?
I'm about 50-50. My two favorite classes, number 1 is rogue, number 2 is warlock. So
Okay.
I'll split the difference there. I like both of those really well. Wizard is also up there for me, but just rogue, it's the first thing I played in 5e, and warlock is one that I've had just unlimited amounts of fun with. So Eh,
I feel like with Warlocks, there are just tons of good storytelling potential.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
One
oh
of my
yeah.
favorites for that. But I know when we asked you to do this, Baron, I was racking my brain trying trying to figure out how we met,
I was just thinking about that.
and I don't think any of us know, which is incredible.
I honestly, I started thinking about it more. I think it's John's fault because I think
That's what I.
John may have tagged you guys and us in like a some Twitter
Ah,
post,
okay.
and it was like, oh hey, yeah, I'll check these guys out. I'm like, oh, they're like the same like level as we are, yeah. And then
Yeah.
we just randomly started talking. So
I think
so
it's entirely possible, and Nia is here. She always makes fun of me for being old. It's entirely possible that I thought you were John, that I was talking to at some point because both your handles start with Blue Dragon.
it is
So
possible. So
yeah, um, that's usually I usually like to tell the story of how we met, but I'm still not sure.
you know, we'll just make it up. Like we met in a tavern somewhere. They'll never know.
I love that.
Alive. Yeah, that's the first one that's the first use of that I've heard on this show. And that's you get points for that. That was great.
Oh man.
Hmm.
Good. Um, so one of the questions that we like to ask here, I mean, table talk, if you're new here in chat or anything, is where we just talk to the content creator in the tabletop field, just kind of get to know them and talk about like all the stuff you have going on. But one question that we love to ask, which I'm going to ask to you now, is what got you into tabletop RPGs? Like how long you been playing? How what was your gateway drug?
I got my first taste back in 10th or 11th grade. So like 2007, 2008, right around in there. My friend Darren was like, "Hey, you like Lord of the Rings? You want to come try D&D?" And I was like, sure. I literally had no concept of what it was until he gave me like a rundown. And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. So I went over, this was in the 3.5 days, went over, made a character. We ran through a few like test scenarios, and he's like, cool. Well, we're playing the Star Wars RPG today. So make this Star Wars character now. And I was like, okay, I like Star Wars too. And then I didn't go back to that group, not for any reason. Just schedules never lined up and all that jazz. And then me and my friend Skylar were talking. His brother used to play had used to play back in the day, and we were like, "Yeah, we should try this. Do we know anybody who would be interested?" And I was like, "My friend Chris, he plays. Like, maybe we can get him to run the game." And then he's like, "Yeah, I think I can get this McKinsey guy. He'll come and play." So we set the date. Our other friend BJ was there too. I forgot. Sorry, BJ, I forgot you. He came too, and me and Chris were sitting there. Skylar shows up, and Skylar shows up, I think, with Mackenzie. And Mackenzie walks in and is like, "Oh, hey, I know you." I was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" And we didn't register that we knew each other until we came, face to face, and then we played with that group for a while. Mackenzie started dating my sister, who is now his wife, thanks to D&D. So I think that's pretty rad. Um,
That's
then
awesome.
it is. Then we went to college, so our games became basically like once every 3 or 4 months when we all were able to come home. And then it gets a little fuzzy from there. Um, Chris and I started playing a game called Dragon Star, which is Spelljammer, but for 3.5 basically. And it's like we were like, we want D&D in space. Let's do it. So we started playing that with our friend Dave and our friend Mike, who's actually in chat right now. And about that time, 5th edition came out. So Dave and Chris, they got a hold of the player's handbook and they basically learned everything and just started playing. And they did that for, I think, 9 months to a year before Tommy and I joined. Mackenzie was still at school during this time. That's why he wasn't there. So then Tommy and I joined, and we played that game for a long time. That was my rogue. I did the thief rogue. Tommy was a champion fighter, and Dave was a Circle of the Land druid. And it got to the point for Chris running that game where he legitimately tried to kill us, but like we defeated everything he threw at us, like no matter what it was. Like he like encounters that should have been like super deadly, we somehow managed to fight our way through. It was like he's like, I give up. There's no sense.
How does that make you feel as a player? Like, is that like a proud thing, like accomplishment, or at that point does it get like I can't be defeated, you know? Like,
I'm gonna say that makes me pretty proud, because I mean, after that, like we did a game hop and we started playing another game, and our character started dying, and we're like, can we go back to the other guys?
You used all your good luck. Yeah. Now, do you remember, like, was it like killer strategy, or was it just like every time you rolled, it was a natural 20 kind of a thing?
We actually had really good strategy with that group. I remember one instance we had this like horde of like undead coming at us, and we basically set up like a funnel system. Dave had a staff of the python, so he summoned up a gigantic constrictor snake, and he also did summon beast and summoned up like a giant elk. And those two would funnel all the undead into me and Tommy, and Tommy's just standing there, just being the not the feet sentinel, but being the sentinel, and I'm just running back and forth, just getting all that sneak attack damage on everything. Like one thing that like that rogue of mine was known for, like my sneak attacks were like very rarely low. Like I got like 4 to 6 on those d6, like I'm gonna say 70% of the time. Like it was ridiculous.
Wow. It's like
and then
like rolling characters.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was good times.
Do you have like a favorite system or like version of D&D that stands out to you? Because it sounds, as I was going to ask before, if you played, because you referenced Star Wars, and I was wondering if you played Saga Edition or the revised core rules, or if you even remember.
I don't remember what.
How similar was it to 3rd edition?
It was pretty similar to 3rd.
It was probably Saga, because Saga
does this
was like
look familiar?
7.5.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
That was a good book.
My gold is faded to green a bit by now, but the timeline fits. So
yeah. Yep. That was what I played.
It's almost like a 3.75 because it's like it wants to be 4E, but it's not.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
See, we started 3.5 and we skipped 4th edition because we literally like got all of our books bought for 3.5, and they were like, yeah, we're doing 4E. I'm like, we just spent all this money. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And then a long time passed, and then we went into 5th edition, and so far we're not looking back. So
So would you say that 5th edition is your favorite edition?
Oh, hands down, it's my favorite edition. Like,
Okay.
I enjoy 3.5 for the nostalgia, but I have zero desire to go back. Mostly because I'm still trying to forget all of the rules for 3.5. So
That's fair.
Yeah, Josh ran a one shot for us actually a week ago, and um, one of the characters cast hold person. I was like, that affects 3 targets, right? And they were like, no, and I was like, oh, I think that might be like 2nd edition I'm thinking of right now. Like it's just like they start to like mesh, and you're like, I forget which one it
yeah,
is. Yeah. Oh yeah.
it happens.
Yeah. So you've been doing a really cool series on your channel. I actually have a couple questions about that. I guess what inspired you to do 30 days of D&D? And I know I believe today was day 29, right? So tomorrow is the
Yes.
last day. Do
Yes.
you have like a favorite topic that you've talked about so far? Favorite day or anything like that?
My favorite day that we talked about, I believe it was David and myself. We were talking just like our craziest experience, and the two of us got to talking, and like we just started remembering all these things that happened in that first 5th edition game, and we both got really excited about it. So that's probably my favorite video. But what inspired me to do 30 non-consecutive days of D&D. um, I was I was on Facebook and I saw in my Facebook memories like here's a 30 days of D&D. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this starting tomorrow, and then I didn't. So I was like, some of these this will make a fun video series. Let's give it a go. Let's do it. And so I did, and it was good for the first like 17 days, and then like all the holiday stuff hit, and it was like none of us have time to do this. So we're like, we can put it off. It'll be all right. And yeah, it's been good.
I've enjoyed it because a lot of times, like, there's simple topics, like, what's your favorite dragon, or what's your favorite magic item, what, something along those lines, and it gets me thinking about it. And sometimes I'm like, you know what, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I'm gonna look at them right now and pick one.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing because I at first, at least when I had a little bit more time, I was trying to comment my answer on all of those videos too, and most of those were things I hadn't thought about yet. So it's definitely I'm sure it seems like a cool thing to do as a creator, but even as just a viewer, it was or it is because you got one day left, but
Yeah.
it's been really cool content to watch and to engage with. And
Yeah.
good.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think that was kind of an unexpected side effect. There's the people who've been watching it, like there's a couple people who have like watched and commented on every video, and like they're just like, this is fun. Like you said, it gets you thinking about it. And I know when making it, I was like, I don't know what my favorite non-magical item is. What? Then I had to like really think about it, because like
Yeah.
in the game, you're like, I want that +1 sword, and I want it now. You don't think
Yeah.
about the other stuff.
I watched that one today, and I was like, let me just take a look at some non-magical items. And I looked at the herbalism kit, and I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, okay, you can make antitoxin. But then I was like, but you can make healing potions with that thing. Like, what? Like, what? Like, that's. Just make your own healing potions. Totally fine. Who needs a cleric? You're good.
Yeah. John just commented in the chat, flail snail for the win, and I agree with him. I think that was one fun thing for me is, Jake, you commented something, and I referenced the flail snail, and you were like, did you just make that up? And I was like,
I thought you homebrewed that. I think you said it was either Volos or Bordenkainen's. I was like,
Polo.
ah,
Yeah.
Flail Snail, I think, has origins like early on in the game. I want to say.
I don't
Maybe
I
know,
not.
believe so.
but to me, Baron, you made the flail snails, so that's just
Canon.
how it is. It's canon. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Flail Snails were in the first edition Fiend Folio. So
Awesome.
there you have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, taught me
But they
something
were
about it.
officially created by Baron in that video.
Yes.
So-
True story.
Mhm.
True story.
It's my point of first contact.
So what are you running now? Or I mean, I'm assuming 5e based on what we just talked about. But like, is there you doing homebrew stuff? I know I've seen some Ghosts of Saltmarsh on the channel and everything. What games do you have going?
Right now, yes, 5th edition. Right now, Dave is running Ghost of Saltmarsh, and Jake and I kind of talked about this before the stream started, but like our Ghost of Saltmarsh characters started with Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and we played through most of Yawning Portal, and now we're jumping into Ghost of Saltmarsh. Dave is very good at taking the book games and manipulating them to things that we would like as players, as well as bringing in things that happened in previous sessions, like NPCs we made bad, and just pulling them into that story. He told us today, he was like, so I read through the next like 3 adventures in Saltmarsh, and I'm able to condense it down into one because they're I don't like them. And we're just like, hey, whatever. Like and his I don't like them was more so like you guys as your players, you guys as players and as your characters, you're just not gonna jive with this with how it's set up in the book. So I'm changing it, twisting it around. So we're like, okay. Like we put a lot of trust in Dave when it comes to the book games. Outside of Ghosts of Saltmarsh, I am gearing up to run a homebrew game with everybody in my D&D world that I've been working on for a while. I'm also running a homebrew game with Chris and his girlfriend and Mackenzie and my sister, set in that world. We call that the family game. And I'm running those 2, or gearing up for the one, running one currently, and we're having a lot of fun with the one game. So I'm pretty excited for the big game to come. And I'm gearing up to run some Ravenloft game with these couple of guys that I know. You may see something about that in the future, maybe, probably.
Well,
It sounds cool.
always down to play.
Hope those guys aren't super lame because they sound pretty lame. But
Not at all.
yeah, that's gonna be fun.
No, absolutely. So, what are some of your favorite content creators? I mean, I guess normally it's like D&D and TTRPG related, but it doesn't have to be. And then, do you draw any inspiration from them for your content?
Absolutely. I was watching Dungeon Dudes early, and this video now is dated, but it was their like strongest melee fighter video, and it talked about like the Polar Master, Great Weapon Master feat.
They always go to that. I mean, rightfully so, but they always do.
But that video got me thinking. I was like, what kind of party could I make to deal out like ridiculous amounts of damage? So that's a video concept that I'm working on right now. There's a certain Captain America video that I'm making a response video to.
Oh my gosh!
I'm planning on having some fun with that one.
I hope so, because I know you and I DM'd a little bit about making the thumbnails being like
Yeah.
more ridiculous, like my response to J&J's Captain America video, and I'd be like my response to Blue Dragon Guild's response to my Captain America. I'd like do like 5 of them, just make it so stupid.
The last one just needs to be Josh with like, I have canceled Baron and Jake. They're done.
Make it stop. Somebody make it stop.
Why we should talk more about Batman and less about Captain America.
There you go. Oh my.
Oh,
He is a
but,
more. I think he would be a more interesting D&D character. That's for sure.
Would he? They are two extremes, because I feel like Batman is the he's the classic, like, I'm sitting alone on this side of the room, don't talk to me, you know. And then
The brooding loner.
yeah,
Justice League Batman. Oh,
There you go.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you got to work in a team setting.
or the Bat Family. However you wanna run that.
Okay.
Yeah, Batman's on our list to do that eventually too.
That'd be fun.
He's a complicated one.
Yeah, probably. But as for other content creators, I like you guys. You guys are rad. There's a creator goes by the name of Beard Clipper. He does a lot of like hobby build videos. A lot of it is like long form content. He just does like a hobby vlog, and just like he records everything he crafts throughout the week, and then like puts his video together, puts it up on his channel. He's got a lot of really cool builds on there. He was working on building a part of Minas Tirith. I believe it was from a magazine. It was a Lord of the Rings like skirmish magazine for mini wargaming that he had. That video was really fun. Other creators in that same vein, this creator is pretty new. It's called Seb Makes Stuff. He created the entire Witchlight Carnival, crafted every single bit of it, and it looks amazing.
Now I haven't seen as much of his stuff as you have, but the one I don't know if you shared it or how I found it, but he made I guess kind of like a mini of Fresh Cut Grass from Campaign 3 of Critical Role.
Yeah.
Which I would he just created it himself, like with raw materials, right? Like he didn't.
I don't remember.
Or like did he do a 3D printer?
I feel like it was a 3D print on that one.
But still, it was incredible.
Yeah. He also did one where he created the Luxon beacon and painted that, and that one was pretty rad, because it was just like, here's your table prop, and like I was like, all right, I'm in. Who doesn't want the Luxon beacon?
Got one of those. Right here.
Yeah.
It's a D12.
Is it the D12?
That's
pretty
a 20.
much. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's a D8. There we go.
So much more.
Other D&D creators, the Blue Dragon Network. John has a lot of really good stuff on his channel. Really great guy. Just broke his, like, I believe 8 or 9 month hiatus that he was on with some X-Men comic.
I thought there was a hole like right around here that was just empty. Like I needed to cut.
Let's see. You asked me and now I don't remember. Game On. They cover tabletop RPGs more as a whole versus solely D&D, and I like that because that gives me a little window to different things, like Call of Cthulhu, which I'm interested in but never taken the dive.
Mm-hmm. I know John is in chat right now, and he's I thought was one of our favorite references, Call of Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. Yeah.
Cthulhu's dry. It needs more sauce, John.
Oh, man.
That was great.
John, if you want to run a Call of Cthulhu game,
Yes.
I think you have 3 people right here who would be happy to play in it.
I'll bring the
Let's do it.
calamari sauce. Would be good. Here we are.
Leave the gun, take the Cthulhu. How you
Yes.
doing?
Oh man.
Awesome.
So what was it that inspired you to want to make content in general? Like, was it something like it just I'm so passionate about this, or like was there any kind of like do you have any specific goals or anything like that?
No really specific goals. I was at the time I had been watching a ton of different creators, and I was like, I really like what these guys are doing. I want to do that. Um, at at the time, I needed a hobby space filled because I had I had quit playing music at that point, and I was like, I need something to fill that space. So let's make some videos. And Mackenzie was down to make videos with me, and we went from there. Our first video was filmed on a crappy webcam, and we used like a random desk lamp to light the area. But and got to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So music, you say?
Yes. I was in a metal band called I the Fallen. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/I the Fallen, and you can hear our one song that was recorded.
I love
I,
that. Josh
I
is looking
also
it up right now. I can tell.
Is it like
He's looking it up right now.
or is it like I? You know?
it is I, comma the Fallen.
All right.
Okay.
I will
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, and John is right in chat. I mean, like sometimes. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Baron, put the link in chat. Go hit it. Hit that.
I already found it.
But John is right. Like if this is something that you just want to do, I mean, just start. I mean, you'll.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to any YouTube channel and look at their first video versus their last video, it's always going to be, very different in terms of quality.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else. You get better at it. You find better equipment and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're not growing as I mean, I was gonna say as a content creator, but if you're not growing just in general, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's always gonna improve as you continue.
Mm.
I love the stuff you guys have been putting out. There's been a lot of really fun videos.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
I've definitely put in a lot of work, and this year with two of us having kids, where our processes are going to be a little more lengthy with video um, output, but I'm going to try to record a bunch and then put a lot more time into the editing and everything. That because before it was like I have to put the video out every week, but it's like that's a lot of stress on a person, especially with a baby. And so it's like I'm gonna hold back on that. If the video's not ready, it's not ready. Don't put it up till it's ready. So
Yes. Always better to get it right, I think.
Yeah, it's better to have a really good video than an on time okay video.
yeah,
A really good slightly late video rather. But,
yeah, that's definitely something I learned. I'm not gonna say the hard way, but the fun way. So
I like that. The fun way.
yeah,
the fun way.
the fun way.
So I guess aside from tabletop stuff, and maybe aside from music, because we did mention that, unless you want to talk about music, is there anything like not tabletop related, not RPG related, that you really enjoy? Like any other hobbies or anything like that?
I really like painting minis, but that to me that's part of the hobby. So we'll skip that one. And really like really like since starting the channel, like D&D has been like my main focus. But I do play a fair amount of video games.
Okay. What kind of video games?
Right now, I'm playing through Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Final Mix
Very
because
nice.
I I I've been playing that game for over 10 years and like I still can't get enough of it. Uh, but before that, I was on a really hardcore Castlevania kick because I found out that they ported the Game Boy Advance Castlevania games to PlayStation 4. So I was playing those a lot. And before that, I was playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5 because some guys I work with were like, yeah, we should get on and we should play together online. I was like, yeah, and then our schedules never lined up, so we
Yep.
never got to play. But
I
Josh
can't
always
even tell
says
you.
you always say the highest CR monster in the book is his time schedule.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even know how many games I've bought with the intention of like whether I'm the one who's like, "Hey guys, let's get this game and we'll play it together," or someone else says like, "You should get this game." I couldn't
the
even tell you how much money I spent on that, and then never played with the person I was supposed to play it with.
1,000%. I mean, like
Uh,
I I played World of Warcraft for 10 years, and like just like this last year, like I just stopped, and I was like, playing World of Warcraft cuts into my video making, so I'm not gonna do that for a while and see if I miss it. And there's been days where I'm like, man, I'd really love to run around and do some stuff, but mm, nah. So
Since you mentioned Castlevania, I have to ask because there's a game that I've been kind of obsessed with lately, and Jake was obsessed with it for a little bit, and a couple of our friends are too. But have you played Hollow Knight?
I have not.
Actually, you stopped by this. I streamed it one time, and I
Yeah,
think you were there.
I believe I've watched. I think I've watched both of you play Hollow Knight before.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Um, but I have it download. I have it in my PlayStation store because they had it on their PlayStation Plus free games
Mm.
however long ago. So it's in my library. I've just never played it.
Highly recommend it. It
Yeah,
Uh,
is like the Metroidvania. So if you like
I
Castlevania, like the older ones, you'll like
I will definitely check it out. It's on my list of games.
it.
Um, if if you guys like Hollow Knight and Castlevania side scroller games, there's a game on PlayStation called Blasphemous, and it is like 2D platformer side scroller stuff with like full cutscenes, voice acting, and it's like it's like Dark Souls meets old school Castlevania, basically.
That
So
sounds awesome.
sounds
That's
like
it's
I think
another
pretty rad.
another game Josh is gonna set up.
Yeah.
Is it
I
is it single player or is it multiplayer?
Single player.
Single. Okay.
If it is multiplayer, I've never found it. So
I think I think these are the most tabs I've ever had open while talking to someone because of things that they've mentioned that like I have to be like, all right, I'm gonna check this out. I check, like Eye of
all
the
right,
Fallen.
Josh.
Okay, I'll check that. you know,
All right, Josh. On YouTube, type in "We Are Dilated." That's the other music project I did.
is that the other one?
Yeah,
There we go.
That sounds like a trap. Just saying.
it is not. It is not. But it, that was the music project that came after the metal band, where it was like, let's do like an acoustic um, R&B vibe, and to see if we can do it. And we're like, okay, we can do this, and hey, it worked.
Okay.
Is that cube within a cube and OUT. Is that?
Yep.
All right. I will check it out.
That's it.
Great.
I personally recommend the song "Perfect" and 4,000 something or other mile bridge.
All right. That's what I will be doing after this.
It's gonna be awesome. So, I've loved this chat so much. Where I know we have your socials on screen here; those are your Twitter handles. But of course, you also have a YouTube channel. Do you also have a Twitch? Like, where else can people find you on the interwebs?
We have a Twitch. It is largely inactive. Just we don't stream much, and if we do, we just stream straight to YouTube. But I think whenever I start the homebrew game that I'm going to do, I think I'm going to start streaming that on Twitch and have that out there. We've got Instagram, Facebook. Everything is just Blue Dragon Guild. You can find it all.
And we are dilated.
And we are
By
dilated.
the Fallen.
Yeah.
By the Fallen. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name We Are Dilated?
That was my friend Morgan's like that was his baby, and he and I wrote music very well together, and he was like, "Hey, write music with me," and yeah, we did, and then things happened, and we no longer have done that.
Oh.
Nothing bad for me. Him, not so
Okay.
much.
All right. Oh. Well, I will definitely check this out, and everyone should definitely check out Blue Dragon Guild on YouTube and all of the other things at Blue Dragon Guild. Chick, do you have? Is there anything else? Okay. Baron, is there anything that you wanted to ask us before we wrap up, or anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't bring up?
I don't think so. I think we hit all different sorts of fun topics. I don't really think there's anything else I have, unless you guys have anything else you want to ask me.
I think we're good. I had a lot of fun here. I'm glad that you were able to join us.
I am too. This was a good time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
definitely, and hopefully we'll get some Cthulhu out of it.
Cthulhu.
I don't know. There's no way to be sure. If you're watching on YouTube, then in the description we'll have the link to where you can find Blue Dragon Guild and everywhere. And if you're on Twitch, just do command BDG and it'll come up. Please check them out. Got some really fun stuff and some even more fun stuff coming down the pipeline. So we'll see you in the comments on his videos, and hopefully we'll see you in the comments on this video. So, thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and thank you, Baron, for joining us today. This was great.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Total pleasure.